We sat down with Congressman Jim Banks, who voted against impeaching the president today. He says Democrats are dividing the country. ABC 21's Ariel Cadet has that.
Brian, Jim Banks says impeaching the president, quote, doesn't make sense. He says Congress should focus on rebuilding the country instead of dividing it. With 232 yeas and 197 nays, Donald Trump became the first president in U.S. history to be impeached twice.
Laid upon the table.
And Congressman Jim Banks says it's a mistake.
And instead of trying to bring the country back together after a very tumultuous period in American history, Democrats are dividing America even further.
Banks was one of the 197 Republicans who voted against impeachment, but there were 10 Republicans who voted yes. One of them, Representative Dan Newhouse of Washington.
Last week, there was a domestic threat at the door of the Capitol, and he did nothing to stop it. That is why, with a heavy heart and clear resolve, I will vote yes on these articles of impeachment.
But Banks says President Trump isn't to blame for the riots at the Capitol last week. Many Democrats say the president's rhetoric incited the violence we watched unfold. Banks doesn't agree with that.
The president was clear in his speech. I've watched it over and over. I've read the transcript. He told his supporters to go to the Capitol, make your voice heard, and do it peacefully. He was clear about that.
Banks believes that instead of focusing on impeaching the president, Congress should try to find out how the attack on the Capitol happened in the first place.
I and many others have called for a bipartisan commission to study the activities that led to what happened a week ago on January 6th. We need to know more about how it happened, why security was so weak at the Capitol that allowed it to happen.
Banks says he believes there will be a peaceful transfer of power, and once Joe Biden is sworn in, Congress can go back to serving the people. Banks says he will attend Joe Biden's inauguration a week from today. He says he looks forward to giving the Biden administration a chance.